and I'm sick to death of seeing third world men coming into our country dictating the way we should dress, the way we should look, we should do things. We are British women. Get them out of our country.
They don't get it, do they? Channel 5 star Matt Allwright takes a call on his daytime TV show from a concerned female resident of Crowborough, where 500 undocumented young men from countries and cultures far different from our own are about to be accommodated at an army training centre. She was gaslit, she was judged, she was patronised. Take a listen as she explains on national TV her heartfelt concerns about a real threat to her way of life. Take a listen. This is her on Channel 5 speaking to a presenter called Matt Allwright.
Just know that a load of women and young girls are walking around, even in the day, with alarms. They've taken self-defence classes, and they are just genuinely worried.
Why?
And there you go. He says why. A very cynical look on his face. Why would you be worried about 500 undocumented men from alien cultures landing in her town with a population of about 20,000 people? You couldn't make it up. Anyway, here's the next part.
Because there's been quite a few rumours that a few of the migrants have already escaped.
That's right. Migrants have already escaped, and she's right to point that out. These people are free to roam. But here's what Matthew Allwright had to say.
There are rumours. I mean, I'm not aware that there's anything to escape from. They have free passage in and out of the camp, don't they? They're not kept captive there. I mean, that was the case.
No, so they're not kept captive, but obviously all of the residents in Crowborough are just so worried about them possibly coming nearer to the town and harming all the women.
Why would that be the case, Lucy?
Why would that be the case, Lucy? 500 undocumented men who have broken the law to enter this country on a dinghy. 500 undocumented men of fighting age who have paid criminals to cross the channel. Why would they be a potential threat, given we don't know who they are, whether they've got terror links, whether they are sex attackers, whatever their mores as human beings, we simply don't know. But Matthew Allwright wants to know why that's a problem. It goes on.
I mean, do you have men in Crowborough? You have men in Crowborough already. What's different about these men?
You have men in Crowborough already. What is different about these men? This is a mainstream TV host who doesn't know the difference between a British person born in this country, growing up in the culture of this country, following the laws of this country, compared to 500 people from far-flung destinations that may well have a different attitude to women and may have a criminal past. They may have a criminal past because we don't know who they are. Anyway, this on-air travesty continues.
I think it's just, other people that have said, obviously, that they're dangerous, they're not. I don't know, it's just all the other rumours that have gone around all the other towns. I think it's just scaring all the women and their men for their wives.
I mean, with respect, though, Lucy, those rumours, you can choose to believe them or not.
OK, so this is a man telling a woman who lives in a small town where there are 500 strangers about to turn up, right, fighting-age young men. He tells her that there may be rumours that some of these men are dangerous and that it's her decision whether or not to believe those rumours. Well, let me tell you that males have always been an existential threat to women, OK? It's men that attack women, it's men that rape women, it's men that murder women, it's men that are responsible for 99.9% of sex crimes against women. And now he's telling this woman, concerned about a bunch of strangers turning up from an overseas far-flung location, that maybe she shouldn't believe any rumours. What do women do? Women talk to each other and they warn of danger. And if you're a woman, history will tell you it's your job to listen to rumours about a threat to you and to believe them. But Matt Allwright wants you to ignore these rumours and go, la, 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 nothing to see here. It goes on.
Have there been any incidences of violence or aggression or sexual misconduct or anything like that reported?
I mean, not yet, but obviously they've only been there a few days, so there's still time.
Yeah, there's still time. They've only been there a few days. Matthew is literally offering the sort of legal defence of these people that have broken into the country, 500 of whom we don't know. I mean, I agree that 500 men of any background rattling around a small town with nothing to do is a problem. But it's a far greater problem if it's people that have broken the law to be in this country, of whose backgrounds we have no information. But Allwright doesn't understand that. This brave woman does. Lucy's concerned, but she's being gaslit, judged, and frankly hung out to dry on national TV. But I'm afraid it goes on.
And to Lucy's point, there have been asylum seekers in hotels across the country that have murdered and raped women.
And there have been non-asylum seekers, there have
Yes.
been white men
But
who
it's
have done exactly the same
understandable.
thing.
Here we go again. Woke bingo, white men now. So there have been white men that have attacked women. And what Matthew Allwright doesn't seem to understand is that if there are people here that shouldn't be here because of lax border control, that's an aggravating factor. There are indeed white men who commit the most evil crimes, and they are disgusting. They should be locked up and throw away the key, of course. But what the left don't seem to understand, and the media and political establishment, is that it's an aggravating factor if somebody that shouldn't be in this country hurts and attacks and harms a British citizen. The bottom line is that was a shocking display, but I'm glad it happened because it was very illustrative of the problem. It demonstrated exactly why people are so angry, and it demonstrated why, notwithstanding the current power of the political and media establishment, change is coming. Bring popcorn. Josie is in Leicester. Josie, what's your reaction to that clip, what you've just heard there?
Let me tell you to that Allwright, and I'm telling him loud and clear now, we are women and we are British women. We do not get ruled by the third world mentality that are coming into our country. We don't want them. We don't want them here. They're illegal and we want them out. I am British Asian. I've worked all my life in this country and I'm sick to death of seeing third world men coming into our country dictating the way we should dress, the way we should look, we should do things. We are British women. Get them out of our country.
Now, Matthew Allwright, Josie, has said that there are white British men that attack women. What is the difference between a white British man and an undocumented illegal immigrant? He says, what's the difference? What do you think?
Mentality. White British men are white British men. What are we going to do about it? They're brought up in this country, but they're not brought up with third mentality, where they treat the women second, third, fourth-class citizens. They have ruined our lives. They have absolutely gone out of their way to make sure that we are third class and we don't have a right in this country. Who the hell does this Allwright think he is? I don't care. Get him on the show with me and I'll put him in his place, just because he's got a thing in between his legs and he doesn't understand what is about a woman and to be safe out there. It is absolutely horrible out there going out as a woman. You can't even go about your own way without being stared at or lured at. You know, when these men look at you, they're not looking at you, they're looking right through your skin and your bones.
And Josie, you speak as a British woman of colour, so this is,
yes,
I would assume from your part, not a racist issue.
Why is it racist? I'm telling you, I'm getting sick to death of people saying it's racist. It is not racist. If these men, honest to God, they really just do not get the third world mentality. You are never going to change that. No matter how much integration you're going to do in this country, if you're not born in this country, you will never get it. You have to be born in this country to be integrated and to be of British values. You haven't got a clue. You can't just import people and they think, oh, we'll take on, or we'll do this with them. They never will. Never in a million years. And you mark my word, to this day, you bring these words in 10 years, 30 years, 20 years, they will never, ever, ever change.
And Josie, what do you make of Mr. Allwright's suggestion that if this lady in Crowborough heard rumours these men were dangerous, that it was up to her whether to believe those rumours or not, and he asked for evidence of crimes?
They're not rumours. Listen, I've travelled so many places. I've worked in third world countries. They're not rumours. These are factual things. What gets me, people come here here for safety. Women come here from third world countries for safety. Then you know what they do? They go back on British values, go back on British things and say, oh, well, we'll vote that guy in bloody Birmingham because he's in our religion and all that BS.
Yeah.
And then, and he turns around and turns it all round because people come here for safety and then they turn all the women around to what they think is right. It's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. We need a massive decutter of the whole lot of them. The Boris wave out. We don't need them.
And how symptomatic, Josie, do you think Matt Allbright's handling of that interview, that conversation with a local in Crowborough, was of how the media view this issue?
I think his view was absolutely disgusting. I'm sick to death of this far right, far left, and all of this BS that keeps coming out every single day. This country is so depressing with the whole same BS every day. It is nothing to do with that. These are illegal migrants. I'm telling you, I have never ever known this country to accept anybody in our country. Never ever accept anybody without undocumented. I mean, who the hell do they think they are? To think that they can just carry on getting away with it. People, Epping, Crowborough, wherever, Leamington. I travel up and down the country. Like you know. It's not even. They're taking our freedom away. They're absolutely taking our freedom away, and it's not on.
Josie, a devastating call, and I'm very glad that you've made it. It's interesting, isn't it? On this TV show, they talked about, you know, why should women be afraid of an undocumented male? Well, we have news in the last 24 hours that Deng Majek stabbed Rhiannon White 23 times with a screwdriver in a frenzied 90-second attack in 2024 after following the 27-year-old to Bescot Stadium railway station in Walsall. Handed a minimum term of 29 years at Coventry Crown Court. Now, is there a defence to be made for Matthew Allwright's handling of this interview? Does he have a fair point that there are people in this country with white skin, indigenous Brits, people born in this country who are a threat to women? Does he have a point that perhaps we shouldn't demonise people that have come to the country seeking asylum, looking for a better life, escaping tyranny? Is he, in his handling of that interview, that call with Lucy, reflecting mainstream public opinion, which is that if you're fleeing tyranny, if you're fleeing persecution, you've got a right to be here? We're talking about refugees. Is he right to imply that we shouldn't demonise those 500 men arriving at Crowborough, who likely, in the vast majority of cases, will be seeking a better life? If you've got a word of defence for Matthew Allwright, I would really appreciate that.